Hi, my name is Al Jacobs. I'm the Rotary Advisor to the Guilford High School Interact Club and to the Youth Advisory Group. We're here to tell you a little bit about both of these groups. And with me are 6 very fine representatives of those two organizations. I'd like them to introduce themselves. Tell the people what year you are in high school, and if you have an officer position, tell us about that too. So let's start right here.
I am Andrew Inchiluk, a freshman at Guilford High School, and this is my first year with Interact Club.
My name is Sean Hackett. I'm a senior, a member of the Interact Club, and one of the co-chairs of the Youth Advisory Group, or the YAG, which we'll talk a little bit about. We'll talk a bit about later on.
I'm Ben Roquette. I'm a senior at Guilford High School, and I am the co-president of the club.
I'm Jackson Inchiluk. I am also a senior at Guilford High School, and I am the other co-president.
I am Katie, and I am a freshman at Guilford High School, and this is my first year in Interact.
I am Ellis Riccio. I am a freshman, and this is my first year at Interact Club as well.
All right. So, what is the Interact Club?
So the Interact Club is a community service-based organization at the high school, and we are part of and supported by the Guilford Rotary Club, and we participate in many community service events such as Pasta Night, Crybaby Scramble, and many others that we'll talk about later today.
And all high school students are welcome to actually join the Interact Club. We have meetings almost every Tuesday in the library at Guilford High School, and it's also a great way to get rid of your community service requirements at the high school because we have many activities that we'll go into later.
Well, it does fulfill that community obligation, but most members go a little bit beyond that. It's a good thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
It's fun.
So let's talk a little bit about what do you do then. Some of the events that we've done in the past, the big ones, I guess, are the easy ones to talk about, the fundraisers. Who wants to start off with that?
Pasta Night.
Pasta Night?
One of our most popular events was Pasta Night, and it's hosted at Knights of Columbus, but it originally began at Bellamici's. And this year, we had about 60 Interact members come to it, and we raised over $1,200, which we donated to Guilford Food Bank. And at this, we served people pasta, and we even had Voices come, and they're an excellent singing group, and they performed in front of everyone.
Wasn't there was a freshman that sang as well, Shaylee Marr?
Yeah, she
She
did a great
was
job.
unbelievable. So yeah, we've dragooned her for the next 3 years to do the same thing. Just incredible. Anybody want to comment about the Pasta Night?
Yeah, so we'll sell tickets for Pasta Night just to individuals. All the students will try to, outdo one another selling tickets in the weeks before. We'll also sell tickets at the door. And it's just a fun way for students to, actually meet people in the community, serving them dessert or serving them pasta, sitting down and interacting with people there. I know we've been doing it for the 4 years that I've been in the club. How much longer has it gone on before that?
We started in 2009, so we're coming up. We just did our eighth Pasta Night. We actually did. It was so popular that the Action Against Hunger Club wanted to do it, and they didn't have the wherewithal, so they wanted us to collaborate, and that was another. It was a great event. Anybody? Now, you participated first year.
Yes, I did. My first
What
year.
did you think of the Pasta Night?
I thought that it was a very nice experience. We got to interact with a lot of people in our community, and I think that a lot of people really enjoyed it.
I think my impression is that the club has gradually taken ownership of not only this but every single event, and it's great. I mean, after so many years, I just get to go in there, walk in, park my you-know-what, and you guys just took it over, and it ran smoothly. It was just a great event, so kudos to you. The really big event is coming up in a couple of months, and we'll have a whole new segment on that, but basically it's the Crybaby Scramble. Who wants to start off with that conversation?
I'll go ahead, sure. Well, the Crybaby Scramble is our annual golf tournament where we host here at Guilford Lakes. And so we have many participants, and that's usually our leader in proceeds. So what we usually do, we start many months prior. So this year we started with about 5 months in advance, and we reach out to players who have been recurring in the past years. We've also reached out to recurring sponsors asking for further sponsorships, and along with this, we also reach out to family members, anyone else who's interested, because participation is open to everyone, and all businesses are also welcome to sponsor it. So it's a great experience for everyone there because we get to meet a lot of the community around us. We also are able to represent Guilford Interact Club in a way that shows what we really do for the community. We have many brochures and we have poster boards about our past projects, and it's just a great way for us to show who we are and give back to the community.
And it's incredibly successful. I mean, for a high school organization to raise that kind of money, and how much did we raise last year?
I think 6,500 or
It
5,500?
was $5,500.
Substantial amount.
That's a lot of money. It just, and we'll talk a little bit about where all that money goes to in a while. But again, that's another event where you guys have just taken ownership. Last year was the first year I got to show up and go up on the deck in the clubhouse there, and just I marveled at how every single committee knew exactly what they were supposed to do, and it ran beautifully. So kudos to you, $5,500. That's a lot of money, and I think there are 55 clubs in the Interact district, in the Rotary district, something like
Something
that.
like that.
Nobody raises that kind of money. Nobody. So again, kudos to you guys. There's a,
To that end, yeah, I worked on the sponsorship aspect of the golf tournament for the past couple of years, and it always blows me away to see the level of support that we'll get from local businesses, because that accounts for a lot of the money that we bring in for the tournament. And so it's great to see local businesses supporting like the charities that we ultimately give to at the end of the year. But aside from like the philanthropic end of things, it's also a great opportunity for students to get out and meet local business owners and to develop like professional skills in how to talk to business owners and other people in a professional sense like that. So I think it's a good way for like the members of the club to be prepared for college and what's beyond that.
the two other things that you guys make money at, and actually it's supporting the Rotary Club in a couple of their events. And one is the Frosty 5K. Want to talk about that?
I can talk about that. So the Frosty 5K was January 1st this year, and I think we had the most members ever in the club's history, am I right?
It
Was
was 19 or 20.
19 or 20 members got up on New Year's Day that early in the morning, and we all came out and we served as traffic guards for the runners, and it was really a good experience because we are supporting our basically our parent club, the Guilford Rotary Club, and based on our participation, they give us grants and donations, so it's very worthwhile that we take part in these events.
And I got to tell you, as a Rotarian, I go to the meetings all the time, and I hear how grateful they are not to have to go out there in the cold weather. I mean, the older you get, your bones start to get a little brittle. So they're delighted to have you guys go out there and serve as race monitors and timers. And also, you took charge of the fun run, the kids run rather. And there were also a couple of people that were helping out with registration. So, and again, the Rotary Club couldn't thank you enough. And then the other thing is the Lobster Fest. We also had, I think, a record number with
Yeah,
that
we
too.
had a lot of members this year.
And what did you guys do at the Lobster Fest?
Well, we split up into many different groups to help out all around the campus there. So personally, my favorite experience, because it was the only job I actually had, we were on the Do-Rag, what was it?
Do-Rag Ragbaggers.
Do-Rag Ragbaggers. So there we all had our nice do-rags around our heads, looking like a whole group, family kind of. And so we were able to transport lobsters and other meats from a truck into by the grills to be cooked. And so it was a lot of fun. It was a great day. Sadly, it was raining, but we got through it. And it was nice to see everyone else enjoying the event.
It's a great event. Now, we do some hands-on projects too, not just fundraisers. And I think the first one this year was the
Meadadstone Tavern cleanup. And at the cleanup, there was a small group of people who came and cleaned up the area outside the house, and then after the area outside the house was cleaned, we got a tour of the house, and we had like a history class almost, and talked about the importance of the house and why it's important to preserve it.
And the before and after shots of the front of the Medad Stone were just night and day. You guys just really killed it. And I think there's going to be a group that will go back to help with the corn crib in some point in April. So yeah, and they again, I'm on the Keeping Society, the board there. They were so appreciative of what you did. Then I think we also did the, you guys did the, what other activities were there? There was
The home shelter trip,
homeless shelter.
the best one.
Okay, who wants to talk about that?
I can talk about that. So the homeless shelter is a trip that we do, usually going to the Columbus House down in New Haven. And so, like a couple weeks before we start preparing for this, we go out and we buy certain gifts or necessary items, for example, like socks or bathroom appliance, like toothbrush and stuff, that could be very useful for some of the men down at the shelter that they otherwise would not have. And so the day of the event, like a couple hours before we leave, we all go to the community center here in Guilford, and we start packing all of the gifts and start wrapping them. And then we also begin to cook the lasagnas that we bring there and serve to the men. I think we cooked about 20 lasagnas, and if I remember correctly, they were all gone by the time we got there. So you could tell that the men were very grateful for us to be coming.
Any other observation? You went this year.
Yeah, I thought that the event was a very rewarding experience because you could see that there are people who are in need right near you, and you can do something about it.
It's 11 miles away, and you know it just opens up a lot of interactors say that that's probably their favorite, most memorable event that they participate in. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, and when you're there, we'll sit down for the meals with the clients at the homeless shelter, and we'll get to have conversations with them, and you can really build like sustaining relationships with the people at the homeless shelter, and that encourages students in the Interacts Club to not only go on the club's annual trip to the homeless shelter, but also go back consistently on their own accord.
Ellis, you're
Yes.
new. You
Yes,
just
I
joined
just
this club.
joined.
So this is kind of a learning experience for you
Yeah, it
too.
is.
But you know, we are just delighted to have so many freshmen that get involved, and you know, hopefully you'll stick with the Interact Club, and you know, when you're a senior like these guys,
Clowns.
you know, you get an appreciation for the organizational skills and the communication skills that they've developed, and that hopefully you guys, you're freshmen. And Holly in the control booth is a freshman too. She's going to be the next Rogan. So at any, this is what you have to look forward to anyway.
Yeah.
I would welcome anybody at any year. They don't have to be just freshmen. I mean, even if it's a junior that wants to, you know, participate, by all means, come and join the fun. There's another thing that we did too on a project. I think they just did that this past week. It was to the Life Haven. I think Teddy and a number of members went into Life Haven, which is the corollary to the men's overflow shelter. This is a women's shelter, and some of these women have been abused and battered, but the Life Haven is specific to women with children. And you know, you think about the dynamic of homeless people, the biggest impact is on kids when they're homeless. So this group took in a bunch of robes, and they participated with the kids, and I think it gave them a fine appreciation for not just homeless men, but homeless women, homeless families. So that was something else that they did. I know in the past you guys have done Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
I think that was a year or two ago. Is there anything else that I'm missing? A lot, I know, but anything else?
So we do have a lot of programs that Rotary actually offers Interact students
Right.
that allow us the opportunity to build our character and to learn a lot about the community.
Mhm.
And so these two events are a lot of fun along with that. So we have RILA, which stands for the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, and we also have Next Generations, which actually just happened this past weekend. So I think 3 of us here so far have participated in RILA.
Mm.
And so I think personally it's been a great experience. It helped me build a lot of leadership skills, learn about my community and what goes on around the world. So I really enjoyed it. It helped me build myself up as a person and actually prepared me for my life to come. So I thought it was a lot of fun. If you-
RILA, Rotary Youth
RILA.
Leadership Award. Now, you both have been.
Yeah.
What is it? What do you guys go away?
Yeah, so we spent the weekend up at Camp Hazen, and basically you do like a bunch of different events, and people from students from sophomores to seniors from all different ages all go, and you guys you collaborate and you do different things that really build your leadership skills and like certain qualities that you can take back to your homegrown Interact Club at your own high school.
Yeah.
Sean, you took it one step further. Didn't you get involved in the Interact leadership?
Yeah, and yeah, I think that was one of the biggest takeaways from the weekend. The focus of the weekend is really about like building leadership skills from like building yourself like on the inside and then translating that into leadership on the outside. But I think one of the major aspects of it for me was having the opportunity to talk with and get to know students from all around the district, and that leads to collaborating on projects with a student from Trumbull or a student from East Lyme. But for me, that really showed me that there was like a lot more to Interact than just the Guilford Interact Club, that there's a whole district of clubs that can work together towards common goals. And so after going to RILA my junior year, I became involved with the district level of Interact. And so with that, I've been able to plan conferences that bring together clubs from around the district and essentially just organize the 55 different clubs that we have in Southern Connecticut.
And I always hear that students who go to RILA, they forge these relationships and they endure. It's not just a one weekend and done. You guys stay in touch with these folks. Next Generations.
I can talk about that.
Go ahead.
So this year, actually, I was the student director of the event known as Next Generations. And so most people ask me what Next Generations is, but it doesn't very give much information based off the name. So Next Generations, it's a day-long conference that happens with students from all around the state, where people come to learn about all sorts of topics that might occur, that you might deal with in your everyday high school life, but is not typically touched upon by teachers in your school and even by your family at that point. So people come from all around the state to talk about issues like social and racial inequalities, relationships, stress, and developing your passion. And so it's just a great way for students to learn about all of these topics that really no one has the experience with dealing with on themselves, and they gain insight from other people who may have actually had more involvement with these. So overall, it's a very fun event, and I love leading it and helping everyone learn about themselves through it.
You did yourself proud up there, lad.
Thank you.
But in Guilford, I think we had the highest number of facilitators. This is all student run.
Yeah, it is.
It's all student run. Adults are, we get shut out at the door, and you guys just, you did a great job. Now you went.
Yes, I went, and I thought that it was probably one of the most enjoyable things that I've been a part of in Interact, because I learned so many things that I didn't realize about myself through this event. And a lot of the facilitators who taught us about certain topics were very creative in their ways to teach us about it, and creative in ways to help us get something out of what they were teaching.
Well, facilitators are trained. You meet several times during the year, and then you go and you learn how to facilitate discussion and get people to open up. And then you go there the night before, and you run through a trial run. But it used to be like a 4-hour conference, and it was so popular they extended it to go to 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And some people wish that it would go even longer. So yeah, it reinforces the fact that Interact not only is a community service club, but it's not just one-dimensional. There are so many things that you guys can do to help develop your character, your leadership skills, your communication skills. And this year, we have another Rotary-sponsored program. Guilford Rotary, by the way, Guilford Rotary Club sponsors 8 people to go to RILA, and that's $2,000. So thanks to the Rotary Club for sending you guys and giving you that opportunity. They also support all of our events. But this year, they approved for the tuition for 2 students to go to a World Affairs seminar in Wisconsin. And they bring delegates from throughout the world. I mean, you can have students from 20 different countries or more to come together and to talk about one particular issue. This year, it is water, which you guys are very familiar with because you support SAPWE, which is what? Somebody want to quickly talk about that?
SAPWE is the South Asia Pure Water Initiative. They're actually based out of Wallingford, so in our support of them, we've been able to meet with the co-founders to see live demonstrations of their technology. And basically what they do is they have developed this biosand water filtration technology that they bring to villages and schools in India. And the design behind these filters is that they're very low maintenance and low cost. It costs around $50 for each filter, and it can be used for up to 30 years by around 15 people with essentially no maintenance costs.
Yeah, and the point is, one of the greatest needs throughout the world is safe, clean drinking water, because these people are drinking sludge. I mean, you wouldn't let your cow drink from this stuff, and it's just horrible. And it provides safe, clean drinking water, and that's one of the. So at any rate, the 2 people that are going, Andre and Hannah, are really pumped about going, and it's a tremendous opportunity for them. And again, thanks to the Rotary Club for giving them that opportunity. But they're going to come back and spread that knowledge. I mean, they have a basic foundation of what the need is, but they're going to talk to students that actually are from these countries that are in desperate need of safe, clean drinking water. So we'll hear more about that next year, in next year's presentation. We talked a little bit about the biosand filters. What are some of the other things that you guys do with the money that you raise?
Well, we support Happy Houses, which we supply shelter in
Haiti.
in Haiti, and if you saw some of the pictures, they live in like shacks, and we build like a very small, it's very humble, just building, and I mean, compared to what they were living in before, you can tell how grateful they really are to have it.
Right. Cool. And some of the other things that you guys have donated to, quickly?
Like Guilford Food Bank,
Mm-hmm.
Books for Africa.
Right.
There's a third one I'm missing. I forget what it is.
We have a member of the group who is of Bosnian descent, and we funded efforts to help respond to the flood that occurred in Bosnia last year.
And one of the things you donated to was to the YAG,
Of course.
which is the Guilford Foundation, which is the subject of our next topic, and the Youth Advisory Group, part of the Guilford Foundation. And Sean, you are the
Co-chair.
co-chair of that. So tell me a little bit about the history of the YAG.
Yeah, so the YAG was founded in 2010 to provide an avenue for youth to get involved in the philanthropy of the Guilford Foundation. And so it's a small group of about 15 students who are all outstanding members in the Interact Club. And it takes a little bit of a different approach from the Interact Club. We fundraise money throughout the year, and then in April we have a grants process wherein local organizations all focused on bettering the lives, empowering, highlighting the work of students in the Guilford community, apply for funds from the Youth Advisory Group. And so we'll read through all these applications, we'll have some really great discussions about them amongst this small group of students, and then we'll actually award grants at the end of the month. And I think in the past 6 or so years, we've awarded around $35,000 in grants, which is really just spectacular.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You know, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I, participated, we might raise $50 or something. You guys are just unbelievable. So, if I wanted to become a member of the YAG, how does that happen? Do you,
So it's usually a position, we'll have some students enter as sophomores, most of the students enter as juniors after perhaps taking on a leadership role with Pasta Night or the Crybaby Scramble, and just showing their interest in the group and their passion for the causes that the Interact Club supports. And then students will apply at the end of the year, and we'll have the difficult job of deciding who it is that actually will enter the organization.
So they have to be a member of good standing in the Interact Club, and then they have to express an interest in joining the YAG. And then you guys, I remember last year, we tossed it to you. This is your organization to run. And the vote was close. I mean, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, you've really, you've taken ownership of that. How do you raise funds?
So a lot of it, so we have an annual appeal that we'll do each year, and we'll reach out to members of the local community, people outside of the local community, and we'll receive donations through that. More recently, and we'll do some smaller fundraisers throughout the year. We'll sell popcorn at a couple parades and the tree lighting. We'll have tag sales here and there. But last year, at the tree lighting, actually, we introduced what was our biggest fundraiser yet, and this was a Luminaria event. And so Luminaria is basically, you might see it at a Relay for Life event, for example, when you have white bags with a candle in them lined up around the green or some field, for example. And so what we did was we lined the northern half of the green with white bags that individuals purchased beforehand and wrote sincere messages on. And I don't know, I didn't expect the event to be as big and as well received as it was. I thought it was a great idea when we first started planning it, but it was just amazing to see people taking pride, putting a lot of thought into what names they're writing on the bags, and to look around and see the kind messages that other members of the community had. And I just think it was a very well received event.
The Chamber of Commerce really loved it, and they wanted to be an enduring project because it just added to the whole ambiance of the tree lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the tree lighting, you have Broad Street, and this was a nice addition in between. It was a great event. So, and I'm missing. So, some of the grants that you've awarded.
Yeah,
What are some of those?
We have a very diverse pool of grants that we've awarded. We've helped the Guilford Library to expand its technology offerings by purchasing energy-efficient computers for teens to use. We have funded, one of my favorite projects was a women's self-defense course that the YAG funded and that many members of the Interact Club actually took part in, and was also open to other members, females at Guilford High School. We helped the Guilford Preservation Alliance to expand the offerings of and to hire more professional staff for the early Guilford Day program, or the early Guilford Days program that I guess all of us probably partook in as fourth graders. So a lot of great grants over the years.
They didn't have that when I was in school. We would be remiss if we didn't recognize an organization that really helped us a lot raise funds, and that was Guilford Savings Bank again. They had a matching program where every dollar that we raised, they would contribute to a particular fund as well that was part of the foundation. But we piggybacked their name recognition to give validity to our organization. So a huge thank you to Guilford Savings Bank. And again, they've sponsored they've been a premier sponsor of the Crybaby Scramble for all 8 years. And last year, the Happy House that you guys voted on who was that dedicated to?
Guilford Savings Bank.
Guilford
of course.
Savings Bank. The employees of Guilford Savings Bank. So huge thank you to them. Anything else about the YAG you want to add?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's wrap it up with the Interact portion. Again, Ellis, welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
delighted.
I've
Bring all of your friends.
Heard great
You've
things
heard
about
great things, about it, and you've
Mhm.
heard great things today. So, you freshmen, well, you with your brother, he's kind of dragooned you. Kate, you jumped right in at the beginning,
Yeah.
from like the day that the doors opened at the high
Yeah.
school. So keep it up. And let me just say that I think you guys, I'm so proud of what you have done. I'm so proud to be your advisor. Keep up the good work, and I hope you guys will continue in college, because you still have Rotaract to look forward to. So keep it up, guys. To the people in Guilford, if you know somebody that wants to join this group, by all means, how can they join?
Come to our meetings.
Come to our meetings, talk to Mrs. Samperi, or any Interact member. So with that, we'll wrap it up. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.